So Preeti, we just finished going over Noah's age levels. Did you have any questions about that or any thoughts?
Well, I'm a little surprised. They're a lot lower than I thought. I knew he had a speech delay, but I didn't think he was delayed with everything.
Okay, yeah, he came out with some delays in those other areas.
Okay.
The other thing that we did together was that screening tool that I explained to you, the Parents' Observations of Social Interactions, the POSI, right? And based on that screening tool, there were some differences that we saw in Noah's what we call social communication. And I think that might be what's impacting not just his communication, but some of those delays that we're seeing in other areas. Okay. We know he's not using words yet, but usually before children start to use words and sentences, they often have to work on building what we call foundational skills, right? So we talked about examples of this during the assessment today, and you shared that you've seen similar things at home where Noah's still having a hard time imitating the words and sounds that you make. He is not really sharing attention yet with activities. Like today, we kind of saw he likes to follow his own agenda sometimes during play. And you shared that you guys have seen the same thing at home. It can be a little bit hard to engage him. So those are some of the differences in social communication that we're seeing with him. And I think that's what's impacting those age scores sort of across those different areas. Some of those differences that we saw today with Noah are similar to things we might see in children on the autism spectrum. Our team here does not diagnose autism, so I'm certainly not telling you that Noah has autism, but I wanted to bring up some of those kind of observations and things that we might want to keep an eye on moving forward. And typically when we see some of those differences, we will refer families to something called a developmental pediatrician or other specialist. There are other doctors who can do kind of a more thorough evaluation to look at those things and figure out if there's something we need to follow up on. And there's often a wait list to see those doctors, right? So, we want you to get on a list, and then if it's something you don't need, then you can always cancel it. But we thought that would be a good recommendation based on some of the things that we saw today. Tell me what you're thinking about that. Is that something you've ever thought about with him or wondered with him?
I was thinking that he had speech delay, and I've heard of autism, but I just never thought that that's what he could have.
Yeah, and he, again, you know him best, right? Today we're just kind of getting a snapshot of his development. So because we're seeing some of those differences, those are things that we can sort of help you monitor in program. I do have some resources I can share with you that will give you more information about autism, so you can learn more about it, and then you kind of see, do I feel like this describes things about Noah? Maybe there'll be things that you don't think describe him very well. So if you're interested, I'm happy to share those resources with you. And then when we assign an ongoing provider, I think the important thing will be to kind of keep that conversation open with your ongoing provider, right? Because they can also help you monitor these things. And if there's other questions we have about his development, if you're trying to decide, what to do about making an appointment with a developmental pediatrician, those types of things, your ongoing provider can support you with that, and your service coordinator as well. Okay. And then the other thing I do have that I'm happy to share with you today, if you're interested, I have a great resource for helping kids build those foundational skills. So whether or not kids have autism or characteristics of autism, there's strategies that we know really, really work to help any child who needs to work on building some of those foundational skills. So I'm happy to share those resources with you as well. You'll see them on the IFSP when you get the document from the service coordinator. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.